An update now on the special counsel's Russia probe. Fox News has confirmed Robert Mueller informed President Trump's legal team last month that the president is not a criminal target in the investigation, but is considered a subject or a witness. Our source said Mueller was at the meeting and the conversation was in the context of a possible interview with Mr. Trump. This doesn't mean the president's completely in the clear yet. Here's Trey Gowdy.
When I heard that, I wasn't sure what it meant because you never know where the facts are going to take you. I think if we weren't in a political environment, he probably would not have said that. But you generally don't tell people that you're not under investigation because you don't know what the next witness is going to say. This is such a weird hybrid of criminality and politics that I think he felt a special obligation to say, look, you're not the target of the investigation. But if the next witness says something different, all that can change.
So if you were his attorney, you would not say, you wouldn't have a sigh of relief?
Heavens no. I will have a sigh of relief when the investigation is over. And even then, maybe not.
Okay, well, how cute are these two together, though? I just can't get enough. You too, Greg.
Well, when I heard Kilmeade's voice, I'm going, oh, God, why does he have to ruin everything? You know? Right now,
Such a hater.
I know. They're sending grief counselors to MSNBC because their narrative is dead. So what's next? He was Hitler. He was mentally unstable. He was a bigot, collusion. Why don't you get creative and say Donald Trump is a robot created by artificial intelligence to ruin the human race? Because you haven't used that one yet.
That's a good one.
The weird thing is, in New York, if you're living in New York or D.C., if you're not surviving and living off every Mueller rumor, there has to be something wrong with you. You know, I try to maintain a rational detachment, but that's like being a Dodgers fan in a Yankees bar. I mean, I feel so out of, I look at this stuff, I just go, so let this thing roll on. Why do we have to keep I don't know.
Exactly. Dana.
That just died.
So this leak to whoever it was, I mean, it was at other sources too, and then we had a source that confirmed this meeting, and I think that one of the president's former lawyers is probably having a good time talking to reporters.
Which one?
Well, there's a few. But really, I think that this is a distinction without a difference. And what you learn is that if you're not the target, you're a subject. It's actually, there's nothing different from a month ago to today, to 3 months ago, to perhaps 3 months from now. Although, to that point, I do think that, if you remember, last May when the investigation started under Mueller, there was indication that they wanted to wrap it up in 3 months.
Right.
Okay, so now we're almost a year into it, and I do think that at some point, probably in the fairly near future, maybe by the end of June, this has got to be wrapped up, because otherwise it will look like it's trying to influence the midterm election, and we don't need any more questions about election integrity.
Well, it's true, because then also it looks like a fishing expedition. They're trying to go through to get something because they are allowed the access and trying to ferret through to see if there's anything that they can get, despite the fact that they weren't able to find what they were originally looking for.
I'm going to do my Dana Perino imitation and say there was a great article today by Byron York in the Washington Examiner called On the Trump-Russia Investigation and the Rule of Law. And I'll just summarize it quickly for you. I know you're very interested in this. The way they went after Mike Flynn was with the Logan Act, which was started in 1799. Yeah. It's an obscure law that's never, ever been used before on anybody. And it's to say that if you're a private citizen, you can't conduct foreign policy. So Flynn's incoming national security advisor, he hops on the phone with the Russian ambassador about sanctions. Surveillance picks it up. And Sally Yates, the Obama holdover, the Trump hater, comes in and sends Peter Strzok, the Trump FBI hater, or the Trump-hating FBI agent, to go interview Mike Flynn without a lawyer present. And then Flynn says what he says, and Comey comes back and says, I don't even think the guy lied. But Mueller turned the screws to him so hard, and he was going to go bankrupt. He ended up pleading guilty to 1 count of perjury, and now that plea is under investigation. You add the dirty dossier to that, and then as president is coming into office, Comey then briefs him on it with the other intelligence chiefs under Obama. Literally hours later, it leaks to CNN. I mean, you don't think this looks like a setup from the beginning?
That's a terrible impression of Dana.
Sorry, hold on. Oh, no.
Is that better? I gotta get low.
No, my goodness.
God.
I hope you get a mom text from that.
I already got one from Juan.
No. You can get text from me. I'm sitting
About
here.
you, Juan.
But I will say that
just wait.
When you go low to try to be like Dana, Dana will go high.
That's true.
Dana restrains herself.
That is true.
Because,
I have no respect.
Because you're attacking her for reading conservative magazines. Is that right? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, just citing periodicals.
Oh.
to give credit where credit's due, and I read.
Yeah, you are.
Sorry.
Stop it. Stop it.
Bibliography.
What an elitist
I know.
attitude
I'm very
you have.
establishment. total
Don't you know that
globalist.
most talking heads read something and then act like it's their idea?
I know.
Yeah, at least I'm giving someone credit, Byron.
Yeah, Byron, don't ever forget what Jesse just did for you.
Yeah, really.
Ruined your
Byron's
career.
like, I don't want to have anything to do with that.
Ruined the career.
So I think the truth of this situation was revealed by Ms. Kimberly Guilfoyle moments ago, but the audience may have missed it because you did it in a kind of mysterious way when it was asked
Yes.
who's leaking this information, and you said,
Enigmatic.
what did you say?
Begins with a D, ends with a D.
Yes, I think, and also let me add to your, if we're
Yes,
putting this
my
puzzle
mystery.
together, let me just say, who quit about a month ago?
Begins with a D, ends with
And
a D.
who has been encouraging the president not to talk to Robert Mueller, but after that information was conveyed to the president, maybe the president thought, hey, I'm not the target. If I can talk to Robert Mueller, I can get this thing out of my way. Oh, and then the man that you suspect of leaking, he quits because he thinks this is too much. I can't deal with this president. He's not listening to his legal counsel. And apparently no other conservative lawyers in Washington think he'll listen to them. A lot going on here.
Days of our wand. I mean, there we go. All right. Ahead, is your information safe on Facebook? I don't think so. Dana's going to get to the bottom of it. She is going to explain it all to us next. Stay with us.